How's it going, everyone? I'm Mason. This trekking pole to monopod conversion is a fun little project. You don't need a ton of tools, don't need a ton of material, and it will really reduce the overall weight and size of your kit. So let's get into it. So the first component you'll need is this ball head swivel mount, the most important part being that it's 1/4 on the bottom and top. Second, you'll need a hanger bolt. A 1/4 2-inch is what I used for this project, but you could probably use a 2.5-inch hanger bolt if you would like. And next is a trekking pole. I would suggest a collapsible trekking pole, but even if it's fixed, it'll be fine. And all of those components I will link in the description below. We are going to drill a hole into the top of the handle of this trekking pole and install hanger bolts. So what that is going to do is lock in the wrist strap on your trekking pole. So you'll need to pop that pin out, adjust the wrist strap however you want it, reinstall that pin, and then we'll get going. What we're doing here is just creating a little guide. If you have a 2-inch hanger bolt, the wood thread portion and the machine thread portion are both going to be 1 inch long, but I'm just creating a guide so that I don't drill a hole deeper into the trekking pole than I need to. The drill bit, by the way, is 3/16. So next you want to secure your trekking pole to your work surface. You can secure it parallel to the surface like I'm doing here, or you can secure it perpendicular to your work surface. It doesn't really matter. It might actually be easier to see if you were to secure it somehow perpendicular. Next, what we will do is we will start to drill our hole. So it doesn't need to be that precise of an angle when you're drilling into the top of the trekking pole. As long as it's more or less 90 degrees, you'll be perfectly fine. It really doesn't matter all that much. I just eyeballed this one, came out pretty good. And the top of your trekking pole is not going to be flat anyway. Once you've drilled your guide, you want to just finger tighten the hanger bolt in there as much as you can. And then take a pair of pliers wrapped in some electrical tape or something that'll prevent you from marring the threading of the hanger bolt and go to town on it. You just want to tighten it in as far as it'll go. If you are not able to simply take a pair of pliers and tighten it all the way down, then I do want to show you the correct way to install a hanger bolt. If the inside of the handle of your trekking pole is cork, you'll most likely need to use this method. So what we're doing is we're just taking a 1/4 nut and we just screwing it into the hanger bolt and taking a crescent wrench and tightening it down, and that'll get the job done. And then once you're done with that, take a pair of pliers to loosen the 1/4 nut and just unscrew it off the end of the hanger bolt. Next, what we'll do is we'll take our swivel head mount and we will just thread it on so that we can get an idea of how much of the end of the hanger bolt we want to cut off. So before we do any cutting to this bolt, you really want to take a 1/4 20 nut, screw it on, and whenever you unscrew it, that will true the threading back up. All right, so again, this isn't a precision project. The nice thing about it is it's so easy and imprecise. So once you eyeball the length of the hanger bolt that you want to cut off, get a hacksaw and start going to town on it. And this being just a simple steel hanger bolt, it's going to be relatively easy to cut off. It will take some time, but compared to a stainless steel hanger bolt, it won't take any time at all. Now I have a belt grinder, which is going to make this process very easy. And anytime that I can create sparks and use my fancy face shield, I'm going to do it. So I'm just going to take off some of the length of this hanger bolt with the belt grinder and enjoy that tool. All right, so you can see it's shortened to where I want it to be shortened to, and I'm just going to take a metal file and just file the end of it off. You just want to make sure that there's no metal spurs that can cut you, and they will. So once you've filed that off, just unscrew that nut. It's going to rethread the end of the hanger bolt. So you are in business. Now all we have to do is screw the mount onto the hanger bolt and we're good to go. You can always replace the ball head swivel and get a nicer one. I bought a 2-pack for less than $9, and I will probably replace it with, a more respectable mount that will probably work better than this cheap one that I bought originally. And we're done. All right, so you just built a really expensive selfie stick for a mirrorless or DSLR camera. You can also, of course, use it however you would use a typical monopod and get some really cool stuff. You can extend the trekking pole and really have another point of contact against your hip to give you some really nice stability. Look, Mom, I'm a vlogger. Another thing that I really like about the versatility of this is that you can just stick it into the ground if the ground is soft enough, and it will give you a relatively sturdy mount that you can then walk away from and film yourself or someone else hands-free, which is awesome. And then the final trick I have for you is if you have 3 trekking poles and a bungee cord, you can turn that into a tripod, which is something that I use quite often with this setup, is a nice tripod because you can use it anywhere. So that's about it. So if you're at all entertained by this, give it a like, subscribe if you're feeling crazy, and I'll see you next time.